Thank you for joining me in part 15 of our walk through the book of Jasher. Remember, it is not canonized, even though it is referenced in the canonized scriptures. And according to some scholars, this isn't the actual book of Jasher. We're starting in chapter 69. The king of Edom dies, and they need a new king. So they go to Pethor. They find a man with beautiful eyes and a comely aspect, and it will be Saul, and he will be their new king, and he will reign for 40 years. But the people of Israel, they're still fruitful, they're still multiplying. So Pharaoh says, if you diminish in the quality of your work, they will take your youngest son by force away from his mother, put your son in the building in place of the brick that is of diminished quality. Chapter 70, we see that Moses is 3, and there's a banquet. And Balaam, who is the son of Beor, who is the magician, he comes and he says this boy is Hebrew, and that it is the manner of the Hebrews to deceive the king. He talks about Abraham lying about Sarah, Isaac saying Rebekah also was his sister, Jacob, Joseph being sold. So he says what we should do if it pleases the king is we should kill this baby Moses. So Pharaoh calls the wise men of Egypt, and an angel of the Lord comes with them, and he tells them what Balaam said, and then what should we do? So the angel says, bring an onyx stone and a coal of fire, and if the baby Moses picks the onyx, he has wisdom, and then we should kill him. But if he chooses the coal, he doesn't have any knowledge, so he can live. So they think this is a great idea. So they bring baby Moses. His hand goes towards the onyx, but the angel of the Lord takes his hand and places it upon the coal, and he put the coal into his mouth, and he was burnt on part of his lips and his tongue by this coal of fire. So Moses gets to live, and he gets to grow up. Bathia, who is his mom, considers him her son, and the household honors him, and the men of Egypt are afraid of him. Moses speaks with the Israelites about the labor they are enduring, and they tell him that Balaam tried to have him killed. So Balaam is afraid, and he and his 2 sons leave. In verse 40, we see that Moses was given favor by God in the eyes of Pharaoh. The Egyptians love him. Moses goes to Pharaoh and asks, can they have a day of rest? Pharaoh agrees, and Moses rejoices. We now know that Moses is 18 and he wants to go see his parents. So he sees this Egyptian fighting with his Hebrew brother, and that same Egyptian had forced himself upon the Hebrew man's wife. So Moses kills him, and he hides him in the sand, and he sees 2 men quarreling, and the one man says, well, are you going to kill me like you killed the Egyptian? So Pharaoh hears of this and orders Moses to be slain. And God sends an angel to Pharaoh in the likeness of the captain of the guard. So the angel takes a sword and takes his head off, and because he had turned into the likeness of Moses. So Pharaoh thinks that Moses just cut his own head off. And an angel of the Lord takes Moses and takes him 40 days' journey from Egypt. Brother Aaron is there telling the Israelites to get rid of their idols. They won't have any part of that. Pharaoh continues to be severe with them. In chapter 72, we see that there's a war between the children of Cush, the east, and Amram. So the king of Cush went to fight, and he left Balaam to guard the city. And Balaam tells the people to rebel against the king and not let him back in. So they fortify the walls, they dig ditches, they fill them with water, and they put serpents in a corner and incantations, which is witchcraft. So the king comes back, but they won't let him in. So they fight, and 130 men of the king are killed. The king says that they should cut down some trees so they can get across the water-filled ditches. 200 men will drown. The serpents kill 175 men, so then they go 9 years with no one coming in and out of the city. So Moses is 18 when he left Pharaoh, and he goes to that same camp where the king is. And the king's name is Kikianus, and they were there 9 years. And the king dies, he's buried, they build a building over him, and what are they going to do? Because they know now when word gets out that their king is dead, they're going to be attacked, and they don't want to die. So they pick Moses to be their king. He's given the wife of King Kikianus, and they give him coins and gold earrings, precious stones, etc. That is it for chapter 72. Armor up, we ride at dawn. May God bless you as always. Have a great day.